Funding for DNews has been provided by the Cal and Lucille Rudman Institute for Entertainment Industry Studies.
Coming up, Chinese New Year, Garrett Brown, and a toothbrush for Valentine's Day on this episode of DNews.
Hello and welcome to DNews. We're here in the new Jerry LeBeau Hall. First up, it was standing room only in the Black Box Theater when master cinematographer and inventor Garrett Brown visited the Drexel campus. Brown, who actually invented industry staples including the Steadicam, Skycam, and Divecam, filled the urban annex. Some eager listeners even sat on the floor.
But if that was the case,
once he got started, Brown killed the lights and shared behind-the-scenes stories and clips from some of his favorite Steadicam shots from movies like Bound for Glory and Rocky, shot here in Philadelphia on those famous art museum steps.
Come Johnny, gonna tell you the story. Hand me now my walking shoes. He come Johnny with the power and the glory. Backbeat.
At the end of his visit, Brown graciously shook hands, took pictures, and answered students' questions. A living legend making his presence felt. For DNews, I'm Sloan Spurlock. There's love in the air. Kathy White took an unofficial poll on campus to see who got hit with Cupid's arrow and who got hit with a dud.
It's an ancient ritual dating back to 496 AD. Some embrace the Valentine's Day love.
The best Valentine's Day present that I got was like those little sweet, or what are they called? Sweet tarts? Yeah, with like the little hearts, and they say like little things. And I ate so much one time, and then I threw up.
I once got tickets to the symphony, so that was pretty nice.
My boyfriend, I've been dating him for 6 years now. He got me a crystal figurine from Swarovski, and it's a cat. And that's like a thing that is in his family. They give each other little crystal figures, so kind of felt like I was inducted into the family.
My school's a cappella group came to me and they sang That's What Makes You Beautiful.
Aww,
that was so cute. Yeah, that was so cute.
But sometimes the gifts fall a little flat.
I one time tried to make like a pie for the family, like my sister and mom, and it just turned out terribly. The crust wasn't like sturdy enough, so it just like collapsed within itself. It was like it was pretty sad, but there were leftovers, so I guess I ate those.
The worst Valentine's Day gift I've ever gotten was a toothbrush from my mother.
Like an enormous stuffed animal, which it's a sweet thought, but I lived in a tiny dorm room and there was no room for it. And then he got me a bunch of like little like Valentine's Day pencils and like erasers, like stuff you would find in the dollar section kind of thing in Target, you know, the one spot.
In fact, sometimes the big things aren't what people want for their romantic day.
So my perfect Valentine's Day wouldn't actually involve the stereotypical things that people tend to do on Valentine's Day, like cards and chocolates and all that. It'd probably just be, you know, a nice, relaxing, fun day at home, cooking dinner together, stuff like that. Make it kind of nice and intimate rather than the stereotypical greeting card, because I feel like, oh, that's too stereotypical. It's not special. You know, it's not special to go out and buy something. It's more special to make something and just to spend time with the one you love.
Hope your day was filled with love and romance. For DNews, I'm Kathy White.
Two Drexel a cappella groups recently competed at the collegiate quarterfinals at Drexel. It was a real harmonic convergence.
When I close my eyes.
A cappella groups from the Philly area were testing their sounds and looking for perfect harmony at Drexel's main auditorium. The first rounds of the International Championship of Collegiate A cappella featured Drexel's own 8 to the Bar.
And when you get together and you hit those chords and you really get to perform for an audience, it really makes everything lock into place and feel like it was worth it the whole time.
Another Drexel group, the Kleptomaniacs, was in the house.
I just love the fact that people can imitate instruments and everything with only using their voices.
I'll be wearing these
This 18-member group, the Supernovas, hails from Villanova.
We don't have instruments, but we are all the instruments, and we all rely on each other so much. So it's a great thing to bond.
During the competition, each group has 12 minutes to impress the judges. Staying in tune can be hard when there aren't any instruments to guide you.
It's hard to stay in tune sometimes, because if you mess up, there's no pianist to help you out. But I honestly like it. I think it's crisper, and I think it just sounds more tuned than a bunch of instruments who might be a little out of tune.
We focused on how to blend as a group really early, even like before we start singing any of our pieces. We're doing warm-ups, and we'd stop and say, all right, stop, guys, think about blending, think about how you sound. And then we'd build up towards the songs, and I feel like it's a unique way of approaching a cappella music.
We have a much different quality to our voices and to our interactions with each other because of the different backgrounds that we come from.
This competition is organized by the group Varsity Vocals, which brings a cappella to schools everywhere.
We produce competitions, we have albums, the best of collegiate a cappella, the best of high school a cappella, and that's what we do.
The quarterfinal champion of tonight is the Deftones.
Unfortunately, neither of the Drexel groups we visited with made the finals, but both vowed to try again next time. For more information about the ICCAs and how your a cappella group can apply, visit varsityvocals.com. For DNews, I'm Joseph Uhas.
Some call it the fun that flies under the radar. We're talking house shows, West Philly style.
House shows are a Philadelphia tradition. Residents open their doors to rising bands and music fans alike, turning their basements and vacant rooms into makeshift stages.
Philly is a really great place to play music and be involved in music because there's always a lot going on and a lot of people that care about it.
Patrick Loundis is a Drexel senior that helps to run house shows at Rock Bottom on 31st and Haverford.
We don't really have any costs. Like, there's no real need to book bands that will always bring a lot of people, so it's fun to let newcomers have a chance. Like, there's 2 bands playing tonight that's their first show ever.
The typical show usually involves a mix of touring bands and local bands, so you get a good mix of punk, indie, hardcore, all the weird made-up subgenres of that.
The kids love them. They're almost every weekend and even weekdays. If you're avid about it, you can be out all the time at these house shows.
And I feel like it's a much more personal atmosphere, and you meet really cool people, and you get to see really nice and original music.
But house shows aren't usually advertised publicly. The unofficial nature of some of these houses makes them questionably legal, with many being closed down because of neighborhood complaints. But there are still ways to find out who's playing where.
There's a certain, not quite secrecy about it, but a little bit out of necessity. House shows get shut down a lot, so but they're on the web if you look enough.
There's a couple publications, like DIY PHL is a music blog that has a calendar. There's a collective of promoters called The Guild who have a weekly email telling everyone what's going on. And they book anywhere from small house shows to First Unitarian Church, stuff like that. So they normally have something cool going on.
So, the next time you're looking for something exciting to do on your night off, for DNews, I'm John LaRussa.
An old frat house gets smart. Jess Franklin checks out this Drexel Living Laboratory.
Our future is in our Drexel students' hands as they build the newest type of technology, a smart house.
It once was a frat house at 34th and Race, but it burnt down 21 years ago. Now students are in charge of rebuilding the house and giving it a smart green profile.
Smart House itself was 7 years old actually. It's been here for a long time at Drexel, kind of a grassroots movement at first, and really picked up steam. They were able to acquire the house, got a huge grant from the EPA and from Drexel itself to kind of rebuild the house and get some projects going.
Each student has a group or a project to work on to make the Smart House a reality. The mission is to make the house a living laboratory, with an emphasis on energy, environment, health, interaction, and lifestyle.
I work with nanoparticles and how they transform energy from the sun. So technically I'm going to take something like this clear glass and make it a transparent solar cell so it can be used as windows and other innovative technologies across the board.
Looking to how to grow and culture algae in a sustainable and small scale environment, and then use that to produce biofuel for home use basically.
The Drexel Smart House has already received more than $300,000 from research funding and grants, and the students continue to make additions.
There's solar panels, there's water collection from rain, water purification, a lot of things with like algae and plants purifying the air and working as air and water filters. There's the green roof, there's wind energy, so there's kind of a lot of ways.
Anyone else is interested, they can always attend a general member meeting and find out more about all the projects that are in Smart House.
It's unclear when the house will be finished. That all depends on funding. Let's hope it's soon.
For DNews, I'm Jess Franklin.
Students recently got to design, pitch, and sell their wares at the Design and Merchandise pop-up show. Alyssa Kosa reports.
It's a pop-up shop at the Urban Center that allows students to sell their work. It gives them the benefit of having merchandising and retail experience within the design community.
It was around back when we were in Nesbitt, but ever since coming to Urban, obviously the space has given us a lot more room to grow and has brought in a larger customer base. More people know about it, more people stop by, so it's definitely developed over the years and we expect it to develop in the future.
Senior Katie McCormick likes the idea that she can show off her stuff twice each term, and not just to students.
I really like opening it up to the community and having people come in and really understand what the D&M program really does. I also enjoy the fact that we get multiple outlets to develop our skills even more.
The students learn the merchandising part the hard way by working to let everyone know when a show is happening.
So we promote in a lot of different ways. We promote on social media, so Facebook, Twitter. On the day of the shop, we have people walking around with a giant heart sign. It's a little embarrassing, but it works. And we have someone along with them passing out flyers. And also in addition to that, we've gone out to all the dorms and every single building and posted up flyers on the bulletin boards. So.
The most exciting feature of the show is that the students make everything.
All of the products in the shop are developed by the students, faculty, Drexel alumni, and we also support new and upcoming artists in the Philadelphia area. Each shop generally has a theme to it, so right now we have the Valentine's Day theme. So usually the product is catered towards whichever category that the shop is being run under. Students like to get crafty and see what they can get for their buck. I chose to make decorated wine bottle candle displays, which were fun and easy to make.
I made a whole bunch of different things. I made Hanes underwear with hearts stitched right around the front of them. I made 2 different candles, and I made 5 cards. And my cards were they were funny cards, but they were celebrity themed, so things that have kind of happened in the past year, I kind of made little jokes at it, but I made them Valentine's Day themes.
Justin's cards were such a hit that only one was left by the time we got there. Check out the D&M shop next time you're looking for a unique gift. For DNews, I'm Elisa Koza.
When does a bride wear her wedding dress undersea and in zero gravity? When she marries Drexel professor Jeff Salvage.
It all started when Jeff decided to take some pictures of his wife in her dress the day after their wedding.
We were trying to pick a place to get married that we could get iconic wedding photos. Easter Island seemed right, so we went out there. Jennifer, on her first day looking for a dress, found this dress that was designed to travel. It had our ceremony, everything was great, but being a part-time photographer, I wanted better shots, better lighting, and we took shots of sunrise and sunset, and then kind of on the way home, we're like, it seems a shame to stop. And we were going to travel in the Alps and China that summer, and we figured why not take the dress. And at first we totally babied it. In the Alps we didn't carry it on the trail, we just hermetically sealed it. But by the time we went to China, we were dragging it across muddy rice fields and all sorts of stuff.
Their love of travel and photography has taken them far and wide, and up in the air.
We did the zero-G experience where we went up and experienced weightlessness. So that had to be the most unique thing that we've done and should be on everyone's bucket list. When she was doing the zero-G, she was doing backflips and floating and doing all sorts of stuff, while I was trying to remain as still as possible. So she had, a great time doing that. So we've been to 19 countries. I don't know that I can roll them all off. Obviously the US, China, Chile, Italy, France, Germany, Iceland, Norway, New Zealand, Hungary, a few others.
Before long, the photos were drawing a lot of attention online, which wound up surprising Jennifer's father.
We hit Yahoo's homepage, and Jennifer's father didn't know it was coming, opened up his computer and saw his daughter on his computer's homepage and just almost fell out of the chair.
So what's next for the photogenic bride and her groom?
Our next destination is Jordan. In the summer we're doing Thailand, Cambodia, and Singapore, and for next Christmas we're going to go to Australia and dive in the Barrier Reef.
For DNews, I'm Gizem Yalı.
Over 1,000 people gathered to ring in the Chinese New Year at the annual Spring Festival Gala. Shang Lin has more.
Students and guests from Drexel University are filling into the Irene Auditorium for the Spring Festival Gala. Spring Festival Gala celebrates Chinese New Year. It's a spirited show that's arranged by students from 4 area colleges.
This is a show joined by 4 different schools: UPenn, Drexel, Temple, and St. Joseph. We have usually like 30 different programs, include dancing, singing, and operas and other cool stuff.
For many who attend, the festival provides a welcome taste of home.
The Chinese New Year, it was a really big event back in China. So CSSA, the Chinese Student and Scholarship Association, they just decide if we can do something here. Plus, we have a lot of very talented people. We have singers and dancers. So they just came up with the idea, why don't we do a show just like we have in China, so that people can actually feel like, although they're here in the United States, but they still get a feeling of home.
Evening's highlight included operas, Lightman dance, and singing performances.
I think this is a really good show. The performance is really good, and I feel I will definitely come back next year.
This is my 5th year in Philadelphia, and attending Spring Festival Gala makes me feel like home. For DNews, I'm Shang Lin.
A Drexel film major may be scripting his own future. Blake Lynch has the story.
Meet Rob Happy. He's a senior film major who made a last-minute decision to enter a writing competition, the inaugural Screencraft Screenwriting Fellowship presented by Celtics.
So I guess you could say I first became seriously interested in screenwriting 4 years ago when I first came to Drexel. I've been writing since I was a little kid, but that was mostly like short stories and novels and stuff like that. So since I came to Drexel, I've been focusing on mainly just screenwriting.
The Screencraft Fellowship is a big deal. Winners receive a $1,000 stipend and a round trip travel to Los Angeles to be mentored one-on-one by industry professionals, a UCLA screenwriting professor, and writers of blockbuster films. It was right up Rob's alley.
So I found about the Screencraft Fellowship online. I'm always on the lookout for screenwriting competitions or any kind of filmmaking competitions. This was their first year, and I entered it with like a minute left to go, and it turned out well.
Happy entered his script about a family vacation along with about 1,200 other eager contestants. And guess what? He won with 2 others. He'll travel out west soon to reap the benefits.
Now that I've won the contest, I feel great. I'm really excited to get to LA and meet with all these great script consultants and agents and stuff and see what they have to say about my script and a possible career. So.
Happy hopes his script will land him a contract and sends a message to other students to follow your dreams. For DNews, I'm Blake Lynch.
That's a wrap for this episode of DNews. Check us out online and join us next term to produce your own stories. I'm Sloan Spurlock. Thanks for watching.
The production of DNews has been made possible with the generous support of the Cal and Lucille Redmond Institute for Entertainment Industry Studies, the Office of University Communications, and the Antoinette Westphal College of Media Arts and Design.